there, Pedro Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we're doing something a little bit different here in the channel. We are starting a rod building series, a 3-part series of building my first ever custom rod. And the story behind this is that we went down to Grumpy's Bait and Tackle to watch a few seminars, and I met Jenny Ackerman from the Fisherman magazine and also Grumpy's Bait and Tackle. And we talked a little bit, and I told her I wanted to start into rod building. So she took me right to the master of rods, Bobby from Grumpy's Bait and Tackle. And there we talked for a little bit more, and I said I want to get into rod building. And he said, why don't you come down, bring a blank, and we could start. So after talking over a few months, we went down to Grumpy's Bait and Tackle for him to teach me on how to build a rod. He took the time to teach me how to build a rod, and everything that we used is also going to be here at Grumpy's Bait and Tackle right here. And we want to thank him, Bobby, and everybody at Grumpy's Bait and Tackle for taking the time and doing everything that they've done for us. And if you want to pick up all the gear, if you want to take some tips and tricks, or if you want to build a rod of your own, call Grumpy's Bait and Tackle and ask for Bobby, and he'll tell you everything that you need to know for building your rod. So please like, subscribe, comment down below what you think of the video, share it to your family and friends, and also turn your notification bell on to get notified for the next coming parts in the next few weeks. So without further ado, enjoy the video. There he is.
How you doing, Pedro?
There's Bobby. What's going on, Bobby?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. There's also Connor.
What's up? Yeah, just cleaning up after yesterday's show. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
So as you can see, I got the blank in my hand, and we're gonna do something different. We're actually gonna build my first ever rod, and Bobby here is gonna teach me on how to build the first ever rod.
Yes, we are. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Just watch your step, because Connor's a slob.
All right. And here we are in a wonderful rod building room. All right. So yes, that is correct. And yes, I said it correctly. I'm gonna be building a rod. I am gonna be building a rod. We have this blank here that I got from a show. And Bobby, probably one of the greatest rod builders, is going to teach me on how to build the rod. So basically all the steps on how to make the rod. And I'm trying to open this up. Let's see what we got here. So Bobby, what are you doing there?
I'm checking to see how it bends.
And is that important while building a rod?
You want to understand the characteristics of the blank. While when you're picking which blank to build, you want it to bend the correct way for the technique you're using. You don't want to grab a slow pitch blank and build a spinning rod for casting with it.
Yeah.
So just to be obvious, but okay.
Alright. So we are basically, I'm also going to have the head cam, so you're also going to see two perspectives of me building rods. So you're going to see the tripod angle, and you're going to see the head cam angle. Alright, so like you said, Bobby, I brought one reel, brought my 3000 Vict. So you want to tell us, the viewers, what you're doing?
So I want to make sure that your reel fits the reel seat that we've chosen before we glue it. Because it's too late after you glue it.
Yeah.
So this reel fits very nicely in this reel seat. There's no play, there's no wobble. It's very snug.
Awesome.
Would you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely for sure. For some reason my camera turned off. But yeah.
Okay.
So look at that. Fits perfectly. It's not wobbling. And this is the 3000 Vict. So now I'm 3000 Vict. This is a reel I'm going to be using, and my dad's. So this is going to be Dad's reel as well that he's going to be using. So looks good.
Okay. We're going to double check that it fits the blank. And it does. It fits very nicely.
Look at that.
So we chose a reel seat with a diameter that's as close to the blank as we can, so that we don't have to build up too much of an arbor and add excessive weight with glue and make everything fit more streamlined. So
Awesome.
I'm pretty happy with the choice, and I think it's time to move to the next step. Glue up your insert, and then we'll build your rear grip.
Awesome. So I am very excited. And if you don't know Bobby works here at Grumpy's Big Tackle as the rod builder, and he is very popular, very, very popular for rod building here.
We're going to start you off with all new stuff.
All right. So what kind of epoxy or glue are we using?
So this is a 2-part epoxy glue made by Flexcoat. It's very strong adhesion. It dries quickly, or cures quickly is the right way to say it. And it's a lot easier to mix than the paste. So for your first go at it, we're going to use this.
Gotcha.
Sometimes the paste epoxy glue is the better choice, but right now this is the one for you.
Okay.
Without getting into too crazy a detail about why. That'll be the next lesson.
Okay.
So I'm just setting you up here. So I like these little inserts for the syringes. Keeps everything nice and neat and clean.
Awesome.
So we have a resin and a hardener. We have a separate syringe for each. We do not ever mix them up, or the epoxy will cure inside your syringe and you'll have to throw it out.
Oof.
So we don't want to do that. So this is the Fuji TVS seat with the integral lock nut. It comes with this window here, and they designed a tube that fits in so that it looks all pretty, and it comes in all different colors. So your reel was blue, so we chose the blue Fleck insert for this graphite tube. So I don't like using the tube for the whole reel seat because I want a better glue bond with reel seat direct to the blank. So what I like to do is cut this tube in half and only glue it in front of the window.
Gotcha.
So that I have a very good glue bond here And I still have a good glue bond here, just not as good as direct.
All right.
But if I put the whole insert in, to me that's not enough. I'd rather have the best glue bond I can get, because if this fails, then then the whole rod is ruined.
Gotcha. Okay. So you like to use half of the tubing for the reel seat, and that makes it better so the reel seat can fit into the rod.
For this particular reel seat, yeah.
Oh.
Because I can get a direct glue bond from this reel seat from here to here directly to the blank. If I put the tube in, I have a thin layer of glue gluing it to the reel seat, and then another glue bond from the inside of the tube to the blank. So that's just an extra joint that I'm gluing. That's another point of potential failure. I eliminate that by cutting that tube in half.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Seems simple. Seems simple.
It is. It is. It's simple. It's probably overkill too. I probably don't need to do this. The glue bond is strong enough.
But see.
One extra step, a couple extra minutes, and now I have much more confidence in this glue joint.
Oh, okay.
You could build a piece of furniture with just nailing and screwing things together, or you could cut dovetails. You know?
Okay.
So what you do is we're gonna cut it with this hacksaw. We're gonna line it up on there. You hold it firmly, and you just let the weight of the saw put the pressure on the piece to cut it.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright, let's see if I can do this correctly. So just cut where you were cutting?
Yeah, see that line? You have to hold it firmly.
Is it through?
Almost. There you go.
There we go.
Nicely done.
Alright.
Now we have these two pieces, and pretty darn close to perfect. See how it's a little jagged and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Little piece of sandpaper on the edge. Cleans it up nice.
Oh wow, look at that. Alright. Take the masking tape off. Alright, throw that in there. Sandpaper on the sides, right?
Mm-hmm. All the way around.
That?
Okay.
Alright.
So.
Oh, here you go. Put that right there.
Now, if we look, there's a little bit of slop in this fit. All right. It's not very tight. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. And when we add glue, it's going to tend to want to slide on us. So I want to add a little bit of masking tape to take up that gap and keep everything tight. And it's actually nice because it leaves plenty of room for the glue. And I put it directly on top of each other. I do 5 or 6 layers of this little skinny tape. See that? Now there's a little bit of friction.
And it slides in perfectly.
It slides in perfectly. It holds it nice in place. it pushes it up against that window very nicely. So you have very little gap here. So this one is done. Should be enough on there.
All right.
Just get it as straight as possible and layer it on top of each other.
All right, so how many layers? Oh.
It's okay if it's hanging off. We'll trim that later.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, a little off center. There we go. I think it might have caught a little bit of the cardboard there. That's why it's not sticking down
Okay,
here.
we'll get you a new roll. That roll's done. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Well, let's check, see how the fit is with that. With 5. You're good with 5.
All right. It's great.
So, like all this tape that's hanging off, I kind of just trim it.
Uh-huh.
Get it nice and flush. In case we need to do a little cleanup. So, we've already done it before, but you clean this out. You wet. I'll just do it again. Contaminating on the inside of the reel seat.
Gotcha.
So I clean it first. Little denatured alcohol. Don't use acetone, it's too harsh.
Okay.
Isopropyl alcohol is probably even better, but Home Depot doesn't sell that in big gallon jugs. So I just do that. Just roll up the paper towel and get it in there. And just slosh it around.
Gotcha.
So that's prepped. And I'll just do this one so you don't have to play with this alcohol. You're a minor. Okay, so that's good enough. That will dry very quickly. It evaporates.
All right.
So when we apply the glue, we're going to do this so that we get very little squeeze out and as little cleanup as possible. If you take a little time to do neat work, you save a lot of time doing less cleanup.
Gotcha.
So this brush is a little bit too big to be accurate with putting the glue in, so I trim it up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You see how it's much smaller now, and I can use it and I can get in there and get glue all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to mix up some glue to show you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to glue one together and put it aside. Then we're going to throw everything out and waste it because I want you to mix glue.
Okay.
So I want you to do exactly. It's going to be show one, do one.
All right.
That work for you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Mixing cup. I get these from Mudhole because they're made specifically for mixing epoxy. They don't have any silicone in them. If you get them from the grocery store, they may have silicone in it, and that contaminates the epoxy, which is more important when you're doing the finish epoxy.
Okay.
But I buy one type of mixing cup for everything.
All right.
So what I do is I have my resin and my hardener up here. We're going to pull 3 cc's of each.
Okay.
And that's the minimum amount you should do to get an accurate mix. Any little error that you make, if you only tried to pull 1 cc of each, if you have a minute error, that's a larger percentage of 1 cc than it is of 3 cc's.
Oh, okay.
So we want to get it as accurate as we can. And using these syringes and these bottle toppers, makes it very easy, and any error is very minimal.
Okay.
So you turn this upside down and you hold the syringe so it doesn't pop out, and then you push it up and you see the air bubbles going up. You make sure that all the air goes up before you pull the syringe. Look at all that air going. See it?
Look at that. It's crazy. So you don't want any air bubbles.
Yeah, because any air that you pull into the syringe throws off your mix, because it's, you know, it's an air pocket instead of epoxy. Now there's a little bit more than usual here because it's all brand new stuff. Look at that.
Still going. That's a lot of air.
So now you draw the epoxy out, and there's still going to be, believe it or not, some air in there. Okay, see? And then I push the bottom of that syringe right to the 3 mil, right there. See?
Oh, look at that.
Clean off the end. Now, I've already drawn the hardener, so I put it over here so I don't accidentally pull from there again.
Okay.
Just a little system so that you don't make mistakes. Because if you mix 2 syringes worth of hardener and none of resin, it will never cure. Take a little mixing stick, and if you see, as you're mixing it, it'll get a little hazy. See how it's all like cloudy there?
Yeah.
You want to mix that until it's all clear. Make sure you get it off the edges. Now with this, I don't worry about agitating it too much. Finish epoxy, we go slower. You just want to make sure you mix it very thoroughly and evenly. Clean off my mixing stick so I can reuse it later. So now I want to get glue all in here, all the way around on the inside. But I don't want to come past the window and have leaked glue looking all terrible.
Okay.
So So I get some on my brush, just a little bit. You could always add more. It's a lot harder to take it off. And I'll look down there and see how I did. It's gonna be hard to see that with the camera, I'm sure, but I look down here and I make sure that there's epoxy going all the way around.
Okay.
And then I come in from here and I get some right down the middle, right there, but a very little amount because I don't want it squeezing out. Okay. So now I take this and I line up my tape barber here. And I just push it straight as possible. Don't twist it at this point, because that'll make glue come out the window. And I get it to there, and I have this ring left. I want to put a little bit of glue all the way around the edge. Not too thick, but I want good coverage. Okay. And then I take the end of my brush so I don't get glue on the finger, and I push it down, and I get it flush with that line there.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see I have glue all around here, sealing up the end of that.
Okay, let's go. So you say we should cut
You're gonna
this
prep
down.
your brush, yeah.
Is that too small?
Nope. Now, here, stop. Wait. So, now it's all wide. So come here and just so it's like kind of like sharpening a pencil.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, so now we gotta prep.
So put both of these up top,
All right.
and you need your mixing cup.
All right. So you said flip this upside down.
Push the air out.
Oh, I see one more down there.
It's crazy, right?
I don't see any more.
I think you're good.
I got small hands, so that's why I'm doing this.
It's all right. Take your time. There's no rush.
All right, now I gotta push it to
Pull it out more.
pull it out.
Yep, pull it all the way. Now flip it upside down. And now you can see better. And push it, use two hands so that it doesn't slip on you.
Okay.
There you go. Attaboy.
All right.
Looking good.
Pull this out slowly. All right.
Squirt it right in there. And then wipe it off on here.
Okay.
That's fine. You don't have to go too much. And then put down, pull the air out a little. Good.
Right there. All right.
And then there you go. Like you've done it before. Now give it a minute. See how the syringe pulls back up? That's because that's a vacuum.
Oh,
So you
okay.
got to pull it out a little more and wait for that epoxy to catch up to it.
Like that?
That'll do just nicely. Turn that back upside down and slowly push it down to your mark. Okay.
There you go.
Yep. There's a little bit of air in there, but there's enough to make up, you know, for that minute difference. That's why we mix 3 of each.
Oh, okay. Alright, so you said pull this out a little bit.
Yep.
Like that? Alright. Okay, so...
Take it and just run it along the edge
Like that?
and scrape it right off the sides.
Just like that?
Here, let me see. So you see how it's all building up there? You want to get it and just scrape it right off of there. See how it's all coming off?
Gotcha, okay.
And then work it back in. A
Alright.
little bit more.
Or is that good?
I believe so.
Alright.
Now let some of that all drop off.
So now, so I only do this part right here.
Yep. So right in there, you see, like, you go like this and you get that glue in there,
Okay.
and then you flip it over and you get a little glue in there, and you kind of work it around below this line, so like around here, but on the inside.
Okay. Alright. Just grab a little bit of
Very
epoxy.
little bit of glue. Take your time. You got plenty of time.
Alright.
And there's no pressure because I screwed mine up. So if you screw yours up, it's okay. You could always go in and get a little more glue if you need it.
Yeah, I pretty much covered it. I just want to connect it a little bit. See that right there?
Here, let me take a look. Okay, you're a little dry down there.
Yeah,
I
so
noticed that. I'm gonna get that before you get it on your hand.
I just noticed that too. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little, yeah, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna connect it a little bit more. Trying to, oh, I did? Oh, no, that's not good.
That's all right. We got plenty of paper towels.
Just trying to get back there.
Okay. Now, I want to clean that off for you before you get it on your hands, because if you get it on your hands, it's going to get everywhere. So, what I do is I'm going to wipe it off with a dry side, then fold it, and always hit it with a dry towel so I don't spread it, that I remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're ready for a little bit there.
Alright, now ready for...
Okay.
How do I do with the inside? Good?
The ring looks good. I think you're ready for the next one.
Alright.
So now a very thin line along this inside there.
Without getting it out the window.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I have enough to go. If not, I'm gonna have to...
So you're playing that game Operation.
Alright, yeah, no, I don't have enough, but I'm gonna go back for a little more.
I think you'll be all right. It's a little high up on the one side, so there might be some squeeze out, but I think you're okay. Squeeze out, we can clean up.
Okay.
So now you want to put more glue down, straight line right down there.
Okay. So now I learned my first lesson. I gotta grab a little more, even though I think I have enough on the brush.
Definitely don't.
I definitely don't.
Yeah, that's going to take a lot of glue there.
So... yeah, of course.
Remember, we got the tape, like the little tape arbor thing on that side?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to fill that gap. The bulk of your glue bond is going to happen there. Tube in.
Okay.
So what I do is I just lay this here so it doesn't get on the table.
All right.
Now, that tape, dead center, straight down, don't twist it.
All right. Just like that?
Mm-hmm. Push it in straight until you get about, you know, 1/2 an inch or 3/8 of an inch sticking out.
Not twisting it. It's going nice. Gotta apply a little pressure though.
All right, stop.
Right there?
Now put a thin layer of glue all the way around.
Can I use this much or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably have to add a little more.
Yeah. I already see that. Might be a little too thick. It's okay though.
So you're getting a little on the face of the real seat. We'll have to clean that up.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I got paper towels. I get more glue. Now push it in with the end of your brush.
All right. Like that?
Yep, now there you go.
All right.
All right, now let's see how you did with squeeze out. None, you did better than me. Good job.
So I'll set this right. Or do you want me to clean it up?
That brush gets thrown out.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna wipe a little bit off the edge. Okay. We'll put it there to dry.
All right.
Now,
Awesome.
the next step is go wash your hands. So I'm gonna guess where it's gonna go, probably right about there. mount the reel in it. And now we'll move over to Dad. So hold, however you hold the reel, if you hold it like that, and then line it up to your elbow, and we'll see where it falls in.
You're gonna have to stand up in that way because you're gonna break the blank. I got it.
So let's see. So hold it. I hold it like this.
Okay, so let me get on this side.
So,
All right.
What are
So
you thinking?
it's a little too long.
oh yeah.
Let me see.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's
A little past your elbow.
no, it's fine. I like fishermen like that. Alright, how's it feel?
Yeah.
So when you're fighting a fish, you just put it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now move it around you. Make sure it won't get caught into your grundins and stuff.
Yeah. No, this is.
It's good.
Yeah, this is good.
Alright, find out the leg.
Yeah, this is good.
Comfortable?
Yep.
And it doesn't stick out too far past your elbow.
No.
It's like right there.
Yeah,
Okay, I think we're
perfect.
good.
Perfect.
So a lot of people will measure to the stem of the reel seat, try and figure out the center of the stem. I have this here. This is the right length.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the butt cap off, and I'm going to measure from the end of the blank to this hard edge. I can reproduce that measurement over and over and over again and have it exactly the same. So if you broke the rod, you closed the car door on it, you would obviously ask Pedro to build you a new one, but if I were your builder, you'd call me up and say, hey, I broke my rod, can you build me another one? And I could just reproduce it and it would be exactly the same within, you know, 1/1000th of an inch. So I got this at 85 millimeters. Metric is more accurate because it's a smaller, you know, a millimeter is so tiny. So 84 millimeters. Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
Okay. So now we start recording all your measurements.
Mm-hmm.
So for here, I would write,
Okay.
so now I know that distance. So for the reel seat, you have a TVS 16. So now I have that information. I can reproduce it if I need to.
Okay.
So we decided we're gonna do a Paco grip for you. We did that off camera. Paco grip is pretty simple to do. Okay. The first thing I want to do is I like to collar each end before I do my spiral. I think it looks nice because that's a solid thing. We can do split grips, but that's a different process.
Alright.
But if you're taking this on the boat and put it in a rod holder, split grips tend to get beat up real bad. So you're probably better off doing a Paco grip to protect the blank, and you could marble up here if you want.
Alright, yeah, sounds great.
So I line up that cork and I look, it's pretty flush there. And when we put the shrink tube over it, I think it's gonna be a nice clean transition. So we should be fine with just one layer of cork tape there. So what I do, I line that up right there. And I make sure it's flush with where that reel seat is, because now I can move that reel seat out of the way. Okay. And I know I had it right there. So I just nick it right there. And I come over here. And then I just cut it. I don't touch the blank though. I don't want to damage the blank. Yeah, I push that little cut edge down and make it all even. Okay, see how that's all nice and
Even
there?
Mm-hmm.
And that reel seat will come back up against there, but we're not going to move it for now. So, the butt cap comes to there. So what you're going to do, just like I did there,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to put one right here, and then one right there.
Okay. So 2 separate ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I want enough material under the butt cap. We might have to do 2 layers there, which is fine.
Okay.
But start with one here, one there.
Okay. Here, grab a seat. All right. So
Make sure this rod is secure.
one right here.
Yes, sir.
Good angle.
All right.
Now, make sure you're going straight. See how you're going off center a little?
Sorry.
Here, back it off a little. So when you put it on there, push it down firmly. And then when you spin it around, you want it to line up perfectly,
Okay.
right? So then you hold it. And you're just gonna go to the end of the lower layer there, and you're gonna mark your cork tape with a little nick. Then you're gonna do the same thing on this side, which I can't see from this angle.
So just the top layer.
Yeah, you're just doing that. And then you connect those 2 marks, and you don't have to go all the way down to the blank, and then you just push it together and it meets perfectly,
Oh, okay.
right? So let's cut you a fresh, clean edge.
All right.
And now you do that one.
Sure.
And I don't want this seam to line up, so I'll turn it a little bit.
All right. So right here.
Touching.
Touching.
Right up against it, yep.
Okay. So you said press it down firmly. And I'm trying to run it.
Perfect, nice and straight. Yeah, that looks good.
It's going a little over top.
You don't have to keep going.
Like right there?
You went too. You only need to overlap it to this one,
Okay.
because now you're going to come in here and mark the edge of your tape. And then you see how it ends right underneath there?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go right there and just score it.
Awesome.
See?
Looks good.
Now I'm going to check to see if the butt cap fits. And that's a little bit loose. So we're going to do another layer.
Okay.
So do another layer.
Oh, here we go. So where's
Yeah, we're at the end of the roll, so it's kind of A little funky.
So do the same thing, but another layer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Just make sure you peel it off.
You don't have to peel off so much.
Okay.
But no, you're good. You're good.
Like that?
Yep. Make sure it's perfectly flush with the piece underneath it.
Looks like it. Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just nicking it so that you could see the edge. Then you come over here. Then I join that and I just score it. And then
Look how even it looks. That is great.
right?
Right.
So then what I like to do is take a little bit of tape and tape it right there so that because the glue on the cork tape is kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll hold it in place.
Alright, so there we go.
So that works. Now take that off.
Nope.
I'm putting a little tape right on the blank here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is to protect it a little bit. Because I don't like that hard edge. I think that looks terrible. I want to round that off a little bit with sandpaper.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this because I don't want you to get hit with the lathe. Gravity is always in trouble for me. So, we kind of fiddle with this until we get the gap that we like. And that looks pretty good to me. So then I take my pen and I mark the edge of that collar we made.
Mm-hmm.
I mark it right there. And I roll it around. And I mark it there. Then I take my little straight edge. And I'll connect those two lines. And cut it.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll line it up on here and see if I maintained that. So I don't like it. It's a little thinner than I thought. So to make the gap a little wider, I have to shorten that. So instead of making it perfectly parallel to that cut, I'll take away a little bit of that angle. Now I'll check. Okay, that looks better. What do you think?
It does.
Okay. Then you just roll that around so that that gap remains equal. So I know I'm going to have to cut it right in there. So I'll mark it. Now this one's a little trickier because you have to kind of contort it. So that's too big a gap down there, so I'm going to guess a little bit and bring my mark up here, 1/8 of an inch. That should make up for that. And I'll cut this one with the scissors. Okay.
It looks very nice.
It looks pretty good, but it's a little thin there. So what I'll do is I'll just peel that back a little more. And I'll just shave a little bit off.
Wow.
Better, right?
Looks very nice.
Okay. So with this bit, do you want me to peel that off and you make one, or do you want to just leave that there and you go to the next step?
What do you think? I mean, I have it down, so you gotta measure it at the right angle so it can fit, and you gotta spider it around.
Why don't you try to take your hands off? So that
You
way-
want to try and get? So
All
what
right.
I'll do is. Leave that there. And don't worry if you make a couple screw ups, because I have more cork tape.
Okay. Okay, so this one was already measured. I gotta measure it.
You got to measure everything.
Okay.
So don't peel the backing off yet, because you don't want to get the glue all screwed up.
Okay.
So you're going to dry fit it, right? And then you're going to mark it and mark it.
Okay. So do you want me to do over this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what do you
Hold
think?
on. All right. So we want to find out what angle to cut this so that we get the gap in between the tape that we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put it on here nice and loose and then manipulate it until we see the gap that we like.
Okay.
And then we're going to hold it in place and mark where it meets our collar. Right? Now we have these two dots.
Okay, and I'm gonna cut
From there to there.
from there to there. Okay.
The easiest way to do it is with a straight edge, like this. Now, I know from experience that the gap from here to there always throws that angle off a little bit.
Oh.
So I cheat 1/8 of an inch. I didn't do it on the first one because I wanted to show you. And then I throw it in there and I look, and that's a little thin, We can make it bigger, we can leave it. I think we should make it a little bit bigger. So to make that gap a little bigger, we gotta go this way.
Okay.
If
So
we wanted
instead of running parallel, you gotta,
yeah, if we wanted to make the gap smaller, we would go this way.
but you gotta go the other way to make it bigger.
Yeah, so, but we only needed to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm only changing the angle by that much. And then we'll double check it. And now I'm happy. I like that little bit gap there. So now you are gonna line that up all flush, and you turn the rod and try and keep that gap the same all the way down.
Same? Okay.
Mhm.
So.
Here. So when you keep your hand that close, you kind of can't keep the right angle. Keep your hand a little further away so that it's easier to manipulate it. And then you can turn it and you can see where you're going.
Okay.
Alright, so keep your hand a little further away, because then small adjustments make a bigger difference down here.
Okay, so just like that? Yeah, that looks even. That looks even enough, right?
It's your rod. And it won't be absolutely perfect, and we're covering it with shrink tube, so don't sit there and measure the gap. Get it close enough to trick your eye. Got a little wide there, I think.
Yeah, it looked like it, yeah. That's a little...
You don't have to pull real hard.
Alright.
You're just guiding it. Now watch your backing. Let's get there. We go.
Alright. It looks even enough, right?
Yeah, I think you did well.
Okay.
So now down this end,
You said it was a little trickier to do.
yeah, there's easier ways to do it, but for the purposes of today, we're going to show you the hard way. So you're marking it where you want it
Where it
to
touches.
meet there. And then this is all kind of so you want that point to be down here, but see how wide this gap is here?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to cheat back 1/8 of an inch
So you're gonna make it there.
to make up for that length.
Okay.
So now when I connect these lines, I'm going to cut like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna see if we did it right. See, now that's too long, but right there is good. So what you have to do, so see that line right there,
Uh-huh.
and connect it to that. So you're gonna take nothing off there and just shave it there. So if you take the scissor, you're gonna cut it like right here, and then right to the edge of that, and take like nothing off. Okay, so it's still a little bit too long, so you're cutting this one.
Okay.
So we're gonna take another, just a little bit.
Scissor.
So cut it and go from here and don't even take away that pen mark. Like
That pen mark.
barely touch that
Okay.
pen mark and get that one.
So from
Now line up your scissor so you can make it in one cut. Okay, and we'll check it.
Is that too long still?
A little bit. So this one here, we're just going to shave a tiny little bit. Scoot over a bit so we get. So I'm just going to remove the rest of that pen mark. Yeah, that's much better.
Much better.
Okay. Now compress all that down.
Okay. I saw a little bit here. Like right here, I saw a little bit of area. There we go.
Yep, just press it all down. Okay, you ready?
Alright. So is that called the shrink wrap?
This is heat shrink tubing. So I like that fits over nice. It'll shrink down nice and tight. This is the right size to use. If it wasn't, I would go to the next size and keep seeing which one fits over the closest. This is perfect.
Wow.
So then I'm gonna line it up. A little bit of overlap, a little bit of overlap. And then I'm gonna cut it. So slide it over there.
Alright, hold on. Let me see if it fits. Let's see. It does fit, so I'm gonna just try to. So you want me to, or is that good?
So back here, I want it to overlap the cork. When it overlaps it there, I'll feel that with my fingers. And we're good.
Oh yeah, so you still have some room there.
Mm-hmm. I want it to overlap.
Okay.
It holds better that way. Now I'm gonna let you use this. But you have to be very careful. This gets hot enough to burn.
Oh jeez.
That's Connor's skin because he touched it.
Jeez.
Please don't do that.
Yes, sir.
He might have just spilled paint on it, but. So. Right?
Uh-huh.
Give it a little while to get hot. Don't touch it to test it.
No.
So you get one hand over here,
Okay.
and you go like this, and see how it's shrinking? So you stand on the floor so we don't roll away. And keep it, turn the rod
Okay.
nice and slow. See how it's shrinking right down into all those little gaps?
I see that.
And then, now this is too hot to wrap the cord around it. So I just put it on there and let it cool.
Look at that. It looks nice.
Pretty slick, right?
It looks very neat.
Now,
You gotta spin it again?
yeah, this part's fun. I'm gonna let you do this one. Because we're far enough away from this business end.
Okay, so
So, see how this came out here? I wanna flush that up. I wanna trim it up a little neater. So I'm going to tighten all these wheels down so it doesn't flop all over the place. Size D thread. You're going to keep one hand firm on the table, and you're going to go like this, and you're going to see how it's starting to make a straight line. So you're going to go nice and slow, barely touch the foot pedal, and get in there and push that thread in there.
Okay.
Do not wrap the thread around your fingers.
All right. So just like that. Oh.
It's okay, you're doing good. I'll help you. Good. All right, give it a little more gas. You're good. Now, check. Look how cleanly that cut.
Wow. Look at that. You see how clean that is? That is awesome.
So, let's take this tape off because it's not in the right spot anymore. Oh, you do that. That's fun.
There you go.
Throw it right there.
All right, now we put the masking tape, right?
So now you see when you put that reel seal on, look how nice and clean that looks.
It's like one piece.
It's nice and flush. It'll be very comfortable when you're fishing. There won't be like a hard edge catching on your hand or anything.
It fits perfectly. Wow. And that's not like regular thread. That's thread to cut a little bit of trim.
Nope, it's regular rod wrap and thread.
Really?
Yep. See?
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
I just use that because it's a color need for the rods an awful lot. Not a lot of people get brown rods.
Alright, so now what we're going to do with this...
Now we're going to make tape arbors so that it takes... See how the reel seat, there's a lot of play? We want to make an arbor so that it takes up that gap and holds the reel seat centered on the blank.
Okay.
And it'll hold it dead center for when we add the epoxy glue.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So I'm going to slide this down a little bit to give us some room. Now, if you remember, we glued the insert in, but it didn't go all the way down. It stopped right about here. So we have about that much space for arbors that's going to be a different outside diameter than underneath the tube.
So are we going to mark the length that we needed to?
Yeah, we're going to make 2 different arbors here. And then when we make the rest of the arbors out here, they're going to be a smaller diameter. So there's a couple ways of going about that. This doesn't have to be the most precise, exact to the millimeter measurement. So I'm literally going to just do, it's about here. So we know the two bigger arbors are going to go in there.
Okay. So like this amount. Okay.
So I'm going to see how we do. We want nice even spacing with them. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there. Okay, that's enough room. I can get glue here, here, and here. Okay, and these 2 arbors will support very nicely. So I'm happy with that. So we're going to use the 3/4 inch tape. I'll do the first one.
Okay.
And then I'll let you do the next one. So I'm going to put the tape on as straight as I can. And pretty tightly. You see how I'm holding it? So I can guide it so it goes straight.
So you have the thumb.
But I still have my thumb to add the friction so it goes on tightly. I don't need to, choke it, but I want it to be firm. So now I'm going to slide that on there. So that, unfortunately, that one is right. So slide it on there yourself and see the pressure that you feel with it. Don't twist it that. Go this way so you don't unroll the tape.
Oh, like this?
Yeah. Rod away from your reel seat towards you.
Okay.
You see that pressure?
Yeah,
that you feel?
it's very tight. It's very tight.
But not so tight that you have to kill it. It's just the right amount of friction. So, what you need to do is make another one right there.
Okay.
Right? I want like 8 or a little bit more. Then I want a little room over here too. And you'll see why when we glue it on, we don't want glue to get all over your grips.
Okay.
But I want glue there.
Okay.
So that'll be, I got a trick for that.
What do you think? A little more?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blocking the camera. So, looks like you need a little bit more.
Okay. I think I went past it.
Oh, good. Let me see.
No, it's actually sort of even.
Let's see how we did here, kiddo. Oh, wow.
That is incredible.
You screwed up. You made it perfect. I wanted to show you how to make adjustments. We're going to screw this one up on purpose then. So all this space here is going to be thinner arbors than that. For what's underneath the tube to make up for the tube in there. So I'm going to pull it back a little bit. See how she fits. No, I made it too tight. So I'll take that back off and I'll remove a turn or two of tape and see how she fits.
Too tight.
Too tight. So I pushed a little harder that time. See that line it made?
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that's where I can remove that tape to.
So you said we gotta make 2 or just that one?
We're gonna make a couple more.
Okay.
We don't really have to, but I like to. Because I like, I don't want the reel seat to push all the glue off. I want to make sure that there's plenty of glue trapped all in those spots. So I think, because this is so thin, I think one right dead in the middle, like that would be good. So you go ahead and make one there.
Okay. So make this one a little thicker or thinner?
Try and make it perfect, but if you don't, we'll fix it. Sometimes you have to add a little more tape, sometimes you take it away.
can we order lunch from here?
Perfect. Done.
All right, rip it and test it.
Oh, that's a little too tight now.
Remember, so when you're testing, make sure you turn it this way because you put the tape on this way. So if you turn it the wrong way, then you start peeling the tape off.
Oh, okay.
Wait, see your line?
Yeah, I see it now.
So
I messed
peel a
up.
little tape off.
Which way do you got it?
So rod away from you and reel seat towards you.
Okay.
So see, it's hitting something.
I think I gotta peel off. Yeah. Let's go. I gotta peel off.
Make sure you know, after you tear it, you do that.
Okay.
Oh, the other
Other
way.
way, other way.
Other way? This way?
Hmm. That's too tight.
It's too tight still.
Still go this way. Because what happens if you go that way, you grab the end of the tape and you start rolling it on top of itself and making it worse.
So this is how you adjust it for the real seat to fit.
I want it snug. All right, that's probably enough.
That's not too tight.
Let me see. Let me get in there and see. A little bit.
Alright, so a little more.
So, what I'm looking, this is clean, this is clean. All of a sudden, this is getting a little wear on it, so I think we're going to make the adjustment here.
You think that's where it's getting tighter at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much smoother.
Yep. So I'm digging that. So, when we go to glue this on, we're pushing it down this way. We don't want glue getting all over the threads and gunking up the whole reel seat and getting everywhere. So, I'm going to cover the threads with some electrical tape. And I overlap it. Maybe come over here. So this, the end of the seat, this little edge here, I want to cover that too, because I don't want epoxy to get on the edge, and then when we push it up against the grip, kind of like gets squeezed out and it leaves a glue line, and it's awful looking. So I let it overhang a bit, and I'll turn it a few times, and then I'll come up here, and then I'll fold the end of the tape so I have a nice place to grab it later, and then I just move it out.
Okay. So is all the masking tape perfectly in the right places?
We're ready to go.
Awesome.
I like leaving this extra room here so that the glue that's under the tube is in contact with this glue. So it forms it's glued really well here and here and here. It just all that glue kind of flows together and holds this really nicely.
Okay.
So the next step is going to be, we're going to have you mix some glue again, and you're going to glue the reel seat, but we're going to do a dry run first.
Dry run?
Yeah. So you're going to mix a lot of glue. Well, the same 3 and 3, but you're going to get a lot of glue on your brush, and you're going to go right here and put a whole bunch there. Okay?
Okay.
you're gonna, this gap here, where's my little straight edge? So you see that gap?
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be completely filled with glue.
Oh, so do this first, just run that, and then fill this whole gap?
Yeah.
So just go like this?
Yep.
So do this first. After you're done with that, this. So now, sure, mix it up a little more.
So I'm checking to see if you have any fog in it. No, I think you got it good.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna let that drain a little bit.
Alrighty. Let's go.
This part can be messy, but we're gonna try and be as neat as we can. So I'm gonna scoop up a whole bunch of glue.
Oh, look at that.
All right. All right. I'm gonna lay it down on that blank. Now here's the thing. If you stop spinning this rod, most of that glue is gonna drip off. So lay it on nice and thick.
Wow.
And make sure that there's no gaps or anything. Get it all up in there. Make sure I get it on the...
Now all of this glue is gonna dry into...
We're bonding the real seat to the blank.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna keep turning the rod because that seems to be the most common thing to go wrong with a beginner is they let the rod stop turning and then all the glue drips off.
Alright,
So you stand up
I'm
is
gonna-
probably
yeah.
better, and I'll keep the rod turning. There you go, that's better. You don't have to put pressure, let the glue fall off the brush onto the blank. If you put pressure, you're moving the glue. We don't want to move the glue, we just want to get it on there.
Okay. Did I put too much on this area, or is
You
that...
didn't put enough.
I did it?
See all the dry spots?
Oh, jeez.
You're putting too much pressure.
Okay.
So you want, see how the glue falls off?
Yeah.
There we go. And then now you go in here, now you put pressure. See, when you put pressure, you can move the glue around.
Mm-hmm.
If you put too much pressure right away, okay. Now get a big wad of glue. Get your left hand and hold the cup on an angle.
Uh-huh.
Grab the brush with your right hand. I'll kind of guide you on this one.
Alright.
All right. Now up here. See how you just kind of let it fall in?
Mm-hmm.
Then you get more glue. See how it filled in all that?
Yeah.
It's just kind of feathered on there, right?
Yep. Now smooth it out a little bit. Now I want to get a little glue here, but I don't want any on the grips. So I'll be a little bit more delicate with that. This is a very strange angle. I'm not used to this.
Oh, you want me to
No,
get
no,
out
no,
of
no.
your way?
I want you to see up close. Now I'm putting this brush over here so that we don't get any on us. And I'm gonna do this like that. All right, good, good, good. Now you see how it's pushing that little wheel of glue?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is gonna drip off, but I don't want all of it to drip off.
Are we
So-
gonna dry it with a paper towel?
Eventually. So I'm trying to manipulate it so that as much glue gets underneath there as possible, and I don't push it all out. Like, you see all that glue that I pull the reel seat back a little bit and it kind of sucks it back in. So I'm making sure I get as much glue underneath that reel seat as possible. Now this, we're gonna get a little bit of drip, but I'd rather that than have not enough glue. But not as much as you probably thought we were gonna get. Means we're getting a lot of glue underneath there. Now see how that wheel is building up real huge now?
Mm-hmm.
There's less and less places for that glue to get sucked into. So when I get to the end, I'm gonna let some drip off. Stop this over a little. I'm gonna let that bit drip off. Now I'm gonna get it right there. Let some get on that blank. Okay. So now I'm pretty close to that edge, right?
Yeah.
So now, here, watch this.
It's like the epoxy.
So there's very little on that reel seat. I'm gonna get it right up close, and I see there's a little bit of a wet spot.
I see it too, yeah.
So I'm gonna clean it off now before we get it in there. But because we were very careful, we didn't get it all over the place. Yeah, there we go. Now tighten it. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna turn it and sight down it, and I'm gonna get the straightest axis where the rod looks perfectly straight, and I'm gonna line the reel seat up with that.
While it's drying, the epoxy.
Yeah, before it dries. If it dries, we're no good. And I'll let it turn in the dryer until it's done.
Okay.
So you could do a foregrip like this. You don't need to put all the trim.
Yeah.
You could just do the foam, and then we'll put a trim ring above it.
That looks cool.
It looks good, yeah. This one looks good.
There you go.
Is a piloted drill bit. That's a 1/4 inch rod, and it fits in that 1/4 inch hole. So I could drill the exact perfectly centered hole that I need
Oh, wow.
in this grip. So I picked the right size bit to correspond with your blank. You know, you just measure, and there you go.
Okay.
So then I'll drill this out over the guard. Sorry, I'm bouncing around on your camera. So I usually put it in reverse first. And just score it. And I do the same thing on the top. So that way I get very little tear out. Then I put it in forward again and it's all drilled out. Just clean out all the little pieces. So when we're gluing this on, it's going to be a little bit tighter to the blank, so it's going to get all over the place. Sorry. So what we do is we cut a little chamfer. It's probably very hard to see on the camera. So there's an angle cut now. She's stuck in there. There we go. So now when I'm pushing this grip down, it will kind of suck the glue underneath it as it slides down.
Really?
And that way you're not pushing the glue away. So I'm going to do that real quick on that rod while it's spinning. So we still got a little bit of wet glue. I'm just going to put it up here a little bit, way above where the grip goes. Usually I do this at the exact same time I'm doing the reel seat, and this is already prepped. But because I'm teaching you, I forget things. It is very different, like showing someone how to do it and actually just doing it. So see, as it spins down, you see that wheel of epoxy that builds up?
Yeah.
And watch when I get past it, it just sucks it right underneath. So none of that glue got pushed away.
Wow.
And it's just all underneath there, and then you just clean up a little bit in front of it. And that's your grip, and it's done, it's on there, it's never gonna go anywhere.
Wow. That's cool.
Pretty cool, right?
That's pretty cool.
So this is gonna have to sit for a while. Probably the next step is gonna be on your next visit.
Okay.
But we'll pick out our component, we'll go over picking out components and all that stuff. Because the next step involves test casting and stuff like that. We don't want to damage the glue bond. So after we set up your guide train and get everything where we think it's good, I'll show you how to test it. We'll go outside, we'll test cast it. If we think it's perfect, then we'll come back in and we will start wrapping the guides.
Okay.
So at this point, that's about as much as we can really do today, unless you want to stay to like midnight. But you're there.
All right. That sounds.
So
It looks good.
you built your first set of grips, kid.
That's cool.
And I think it came out really nice. I think it's a nice looking set of grips.
It does look really nice. It looks really, really nice.